we think about fixing up our cities, our minds usually jump to these huge, complicated construction projects, right? But what if the best solutions are actually the simplest? Today, we're going to look at a project that completely revitalized a neglected riverfront. And it didn't do it with a bulldozer, but with one single elegant idea. An idea that got some serious praise. So check this out. Ingenious, very real, it's transformative. I mean, when a design jury starts throwing around words like that, you know you're onto something pretty special. So, what was it? What was so darn transformative? Well, to really get it, we've got to go back to the beginning and look at the problem they were facing.
All right, so let's head over to the Tanghe River. It's on the edge of Qinhuangdao City in China. And this place, it was a total paradox. Just a mess of contradictions, really. So this is where it gets really interesting. This place had a complete split personality. On the one hand, you've got this ecological gem, right? It's packed with lush, native plants, tons of different habitats for all kinds of species, a genuinely valuable natural space. But on the other hand, for the people who actually lived there, it was a total no-go zone. I mean, it was literally being used as a garbage dump, there were deserted slums, and it was so overgrown that it was basically impossible to get into, and frankly, not very safe.
Okay, so you can see the massive design challenge this creates, right? How in the world do you open this space up for people to enjoy without just destroying the very nature that makes it so valuable to begin with? The designers were basically caught between a rock and a hard place with these two huge competing pressures. So on one side, you had the local community. New neighborhoods were being built nearby and people were crying out for a park, a place to jog, fish, just hang out. But then on the other side, you had the standard city development pressure. The usual playbook for a messy river like this was just to tame it. Pave the banks, straighten out the river, plant some neat little flower beds, and, in the process, completely obliterate the natural habitat.
And that really gets us to the heart of the problem, the big question they had to answer. How do you create a park for people, a place that's safe and easy to get to without paving over paradise and ruining the very thing that makes it special? And let's be real, this is a problem that cities all over the world are grappling with.
Well, the answer they came up with was based on a philosophy that totally flipped the script. Instead of asking, okay, how much can we build here? They asked, what's the least we can do to get the biggest possible bang for our buck? And they called this the minimum intervention approach.
So the goal here wasn't to tame the wildness. Not at all. It was to work with it. The whole idea was to have the lightest touch imaginable on the landscape. To add just one single thing, one element that could solve all the problems in one go. Access, safety, a place for fun, even a learning experience. All while leaving the natural ecosystem pretty much untouched.
And what was that one element? You're not going to believe this. It was a single red ribbon. That's it. That was the solution. No giant earth-moving machines, no concrete poured everywhere, just one simple, totally brilliant object, carefully woven into the landscape.
Now, obviously, we're not talking about just any old ribbon here. This thing was an absolute masterclass in smart, multifunctional design. It was a single piece of infrastructure that did the job of like 10 different things. So let's break down exactly how it works. Okay, so the ribbon itself is this steel structure that runs for about 500 meters. It just kind of snakes its way along the riverbank, gently guiding people through this amazing natural landscape.
And get this, even though the ribbon itself is only 500 meters long, its impact is just massive. This one simple thing manages to reorganize and open up the entire 20-hectare park. I mean, talk about a huge return on investment for such a tiny footprint. It's incredible.
And this is where you really see the genius of it. This red ribbon, which is made of fiber steel, is basically the whole park in one. It's a boardwalk you can walk on, it's a bench you can sit on, it's a light source. At night, it glows from the inside, which not only looks cool, but keeps things safe and helps you find your way. And get this, they even put holes in it so the native plants could grow right through it. It just melts right into the environment.
The ribbon wasn't totally on its own, though. To round things out, they added 4 cloud-shaped pavilions. Places for people to meet up or get out of the rain. And remember those old garbage dumps? Well, the designers turned those into 4 gorgeous perennial flower gardens. They literally took the worst parts of the site and turned them into the best parts.
So, after all was said and done, what was the final impact of this minimum intervention? Well, it was nothing short of a complete reconnection. It brought the city and its river back together again.
Just look at the before and after here. The place went from being messy, inaccessible, and kind of scary to being safe, open, and welcoming. The garbage dumps? Now they're gardens. And the best part? It became this amazing modern park that people absolutely loved. But, and this is the key,
It did it all while keeping the river's ecological heart beating strong. The ribbon was the bridge between people and nature, and it didn't have to destroy nature to build it.
This whole project just leaves you with this one really powerful thought, doesn't it? We live in a world that always seems to go for the bigger, more expensive, more destructive option by default. But this proves that sometimes the most incredible transformations come from the lightest possible touch. So it makes you wonder, right? What if the biggest problems in our own cities, in our own neighborhoods, are just waiting for their